Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am your host, Clay Emo, Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take for Sunday night, January the 14th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. I am trying something new tonight, and I can see it's working. I think it's a few seconds delayed, but that's okay. I am streaming not only live to YouTube, which is my bread and butter, kind of like my sandwich, if that makes sense, because bread and butter sandwich, but I'm also trying for the first time tonight, streaming live to Instagram and streaming live to Facebook. And if those of you that are watching on Facebook and Instagram, I think I have the Instagram feed working. I think it's working. And there's already 10 people in there, which is kind of cool. But that's going to go in and out because they're wondering what the heck is this guy doing on my feed. For Facebook, I can't even find it. I don't even know if it's happening, but that's fine as well. And then for all of you on YouTube, I think I'm going to obviously focus on. Oh, I see it on Facebook too as well. That's kind of cool. The most important thing is that we get involved, that we have fun, and that we celebrate our awesome hockey team. So if you're watching on Facebook and Instagram tonight, thank you. If you type anything in the comments, though, I won't see it because I got to focus on the comments that are coming in YouTube. But if this is a way to get you to watch more of my videos on YouTube, that is awesome. I also want to give a shout out to the best sister tandem in the world, Krista and Nicole. I know they're watching. Well, is it bad if I say, well, they're getting ready for bed? That doesn't sound right, but I know them both from my work in the Catholic Archdiocese. More importantly, they're dear friends of mine. They're thinking about going on this Vegas trip, which would be amazing. And they also, not because they bought tickets for me, that's not why I like them so much, but they've also, they're both renewing their Canucks fandom as we speak. So Nicole and and Krista, nice to see you, and nice to see everyone that's here. I see a bunch of people on Instagram, which is awesome. And of course, most of you here watching on YouTube. So got a full show for you tonight. Justin, it's your birthday tomorrow. I'm going to try and end the stream before 12. Then I'll text you, Justin, at 12. And then I'm going to bring you onto my stream tomorrow night, if that makes sense. So Justin, I know we still got to connect, but I know it's your birthday tomorrow, just in case I finish before 12. I think Instagram stops the live video after an hour. Okay, now I see Justin. So you guys, it's funny. I got YouTube in front of me. I got Facebook here, and I got Instagram there. And I just see Justin joined on Instagram too. So I guess if you want more than me, if you want to see me more than once, then that's fine. I don't know why anyone would want to do that. Oh, it's interesting. On Facebook, they make it an event, and then you have to click onto it. Okay, this is really weird now. I'm seeing myself. Who am I kidding? I love seeing myself on camera, but I'm seeing myself on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. But I better focus here on you guys. So welcome, everyone. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and healthy space. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame and franchise members, thanks for your support as always. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, in the Lower Mainland, in the province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me tonight, I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. So this is how you can get involved. Mostly I'm talking to you YouTube people, Facebook and Instagram. None of these features will work, but just play along. So you can subscribe so you get active in the chat section and get my videos every single day. You can like this video. There are 70 of you in here already. 70 of you on a Sunday night when there's no game. That's pretty cool. That's a sign that the Canucks are hot, that we're all in a good mood. So 70 of you in here, like the video, like the fact that we're together, like the fact that, like I said in my poll, 5 Canucks players and a coach going to the All-Star game. I'm going to talk about that. Talk about the lotto line dominating. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Talk about the fact that we are number 1 in the league right now by points. I'm going to talk about that for sure. And we are widening our lead atop the Pacific Division. So those are your 4 poll options. Which is the biggest story for you right now? If you're on YouTube, make sure you vote in the poll right now. And I'm going to end that poll in a few minutes. So subscribe, like the video. You can leave a donation and get the donation train out of the station. Those of you on YouTube, you can show off to the Facebook and Instagram people, say, this is how you leave a donation and this is how you get recognized on the stream. I'm just kidding. I appreciate donations. If you want to leave one, go ahead. You can also gift memberships, which is the same as a $5 donation. You can become a member yourself. You can upgrade your own membership. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Okay, it is Sunday night. There are now 85 of you in here, which is pretty crazy. I can tell you guys are excited about this team. And before we get going, right on cue, amazing. And I for Instagram people and Facebook people, this part of my show, this is my favorite part of the show, actually, when I get to recognize generosity. So shout out to legendary Carol Bovenlander, who gives 5 Canuck Clay memberships for a month. That's a $25 donation. And they go to Taylor, Ted, Jarvis, JS, and EJ. Many of you are returnees. So thank you for your generosity, Carol. Let's give Carol some love. I know Taylor in particular, a lot of you guys are students. I'm not going to say poor or struggling students because I don't know your situation, but I just know what it's like to be a student. I've seen my kids be students. I know that money is hard to come by. So appreciate, Carol, you being so generous and allowing a lot of people to enjoy membership. So welcome to the 5 of you back, or welcome for the first time to the CCCC, the Clay's Canucks commentary crew. And Carol, thank you very much for your generosity, as always, acting like a true legend. And the donation train is officially out of the station. So this is what I'm going to do tonight. Tonight, I am going to basically preview tomorrow's game and talk a little bit about the Canucks road trip that is winding down. Tomorrow is the last game of the road trip before they come home. I am going to talk a bit more about the all-star selections, how that's going to work, how we can still vote on guys and get more guys in somehow to the skills side. So I'm going to talk about, I won't talk too much about yesterday's game, but I will talk about tomorrow's game, the road trip overall, all-stars, and then that'll take me to the halfway point. I'll do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I'll turn it over to all of you, answer your questions and your comments. Sound good? Sound great. Really quickly, just a really quick update. We're getting our new furnace tomorrow. So this is our third night now, fourth night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is our fourth night now of just fireplace and space heaters. We're doing fine. So I'm not looking for sympathy, but for those of you that have been asking, because I streamed on Thursday night, I streamed impromptu yesterday after the Canucks win. So yes, we are getting our new furnace tomorrow, and hopefully all will be right in the world. Had a bit of a carbon monoxide scare on Thursday night, but thankfully we are all okay. And I appreciate all the messages, thoughts, prayers. And it's really a good PSA. If you don't have carbon monoxide detectors in your home, make sure you get them. Okay, so that's that. Secondly, so I did an impromptu stream yesterday because I wasn't bored, but yeah, it was a good opportunity to do. I had a nice little pocket of time where I was home and no one else was home, so I was able to do that. And then, of course, I've been doing these goal breakdown videos for the past week, and it's been awesome. We've had a 6-2 win, a 6-3 win, a 5. So there have been a lot of goals to break down. So you guys try doing a 10-minute breakdown video on a game that has 1 goal. So it was pretty tricky. What I do is I take the 5-minute highlight package that's on NHL.com. And so if it's 9 goals in a game, then it's fast and I have to go fast. If it's 1 goal a game, then you can imagine that I was stretching things out. So let's just hope that there's no more 1-0 games in the Canucks future. It's much more fun when it's like 5-2 or 6-3 or whatever it is. So thank you everyone who did watch that video of me trying to break down that Canucks Sabres game, which was an actually interesting game. And this is one thing I will say about that game. I like the fact that the Canucks showed that they could win a kind of grindy, gritty type game. It wasn't a track meet. It wasn't back and forth. It wasn't up and down, breakaways, 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. It wasn't the Lotto line dominating with 8 or 9 points combined. It was a gritty game, and with fights, with high hits, with cuts, with late hits, with concussion protocol, and the Canucks ended up winning that game 1-0. So what I did enjoy was, yes, that the Canucks showed that they're going to win They can win those type of games. The game against Pittsburgh, actually, earlier in the week, or on the Thursday, that game was 4-3 in overtime, and that wasn't a track meet. That had some exciting back and forth, but it also had a lot of intense. That game felt like a playoff game, even though Pittsburgh's not even in our conference and division. Then Buffalo, not in our conference and division, still felt like a tight game. So just wait till we get LA and Vegas and Edmonton and Colorado again later in the year. I think we're Winnipeg. That Winnipeg game is going to be awesome. So there are a lot of interesting things, games to look forward to. By the way, I just saw Jarvis's comment, and this one's really funny actually. I need to plan to watch the game tomorrow. So a couple things. You guys know that Game Over is canceled. I've talked about that a couple times already. So we were trying to figure out who's going to do that show, because I'm supposed to be at work. Obviously, it's a 10 o'clock Pacific game, 1 p.m. Eastern time, because it's a national. Yeah, it's a national holiday in the States tomorrow. It's Martin Luther King Day. I have a dream that the Canucks are going to whoop Columbus tomorrow, but that's another thing. But it's a 10 o'clock start, and of course, with Sean working full time in Langley tomorrow, with Jacob back from Toronto from his bowling championships and going back to school, Gail obviously in school, Kayla in school. Actually, I'm of the five of us, I'm the one with the most flexible schedule. So I'm actually working from home tomorrow because the furnace is coming. Truly, not because the Canucks are playing on TV at 10 a.m., but I may somehow migrate my workstation to the TV room at around 10 if it all works out. So if anyone from work is watching, I will be attentive. I will be on my computer. But if you call me on Teams, I'm either gonna have to rush back here and make it look like I'm working here, or I'll just not lie and take it from the family room. So much to talk about, you guys. And if there's one other thing, there's hey Adrian, nice to see you. I heard they just got to Columbus earlier this evening. Yeah, so what the Canucks were supposed to do is yesterday they were supposed to fly out of Buffalo after beating them 1-0, and then they're supposed to arrive in Columbus and maybe have a game day. A light skate today. I don't know, in Columbus, and then their game is early tomorrow. It's 1 a.m. So obviously, 1 a.m. would be very early. It's a 1 p.m. local start. There, 10 a.m. for us. So obviously, there's going to be no game day skate tomorrow morning. They're just going to go to the arena and be ready. But because the weather was so bad in Buffalo, and we know this because they actually moved their NFL football game. Did they move it from Sunday to Monday, or did they just move it? No, I think they moved it from Sunday to Monday. Regardless, they had to move the Buffalo football game because the weather was so bad. Yet another indication of the horrible snow. So what the Canucks were going to do, they're going to spend the night in Buffalo and then fly out to Columbus today, get into Columbus, and then be ready, have a good rest, and be ready for tomorrow's early game. But because they weren't sure about the roads. That doesn't sound right. We're talking about flights, but I stick with me, because they weren't sure about the flights. And they also, I'm sure they thought about every option. Another option would have been driving from Buffalo to Columbus. I don't know how long that takes. I'm not a U.S. geography expert, especially in the northeastern side or the eastern side of the States. So what they ended up doing is they ended up driving from Buffalo over the border back to Canada to Toronto, and then they flew from Toronto to Columbus. So that's what they did today. So remember, they spent the night in Buffalo last night thinking that they would fly to Columbus today. Instead of flying to Columbus, they ended up driving over the border to Toronto, familiar confines of our country, and then they flew from Toronto to Columbus. So yes, as many have said, they got to Columbus earlier this evening, and let's just see what kind of legs they have and what kind of energy they have. But it's not a very good Columbus team. I would love to end the road trip 6 wins out of 7, 6 straight wins, coming home to then prepare to face, I guess our next game is Thursday night against the Arizona Coyotes at home. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Wow. Here is a blast from the past. Another legend stepping up. Let's recognize legendary Andrew Chang. So Taylor was telling me it was a $5 drive, $5-hour drive from Buffalo to Columbus, and that's on good roads. I can't imagine it's too dangerous, too treacherous, not worth the risk. So that's why they did what they did. So shout out to legendary Andrew Chang. with a $5 donation. Nice to see you, Andrew. Good evening, boys and girls. Good evening to you. And nice to see you, legendary Andrew Chang. And to complete the legendary trifecta of donations, we have legendary Lucas Gates also with a donation. Whoops, I almost pressed the wrong button. Let's recognize Lucas. Legendary Lucas Gates with a $5 donation. Thank you, Lucas. Says it would make sense for the game to be moved to Tuesday. It'd be unfair for both sides, especially with a horrible snowstorm in Buffalo. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know what the weather's like in Columbus, and I haven't looked at any weather reports. And yeah, it's one thing to say it'd be nicer, it'd be safer, but you got to look at arena availability. We know that the Canucks don't play again until Thursday, so if they had to, they probably could play Tuesday, but maybe they didn't pack enough underwear. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. The game is going to be tomorrow as far as we know. So everyone, thank you, Carol, for the donations, the gift memberships. Thank you to Andrew and to Lucas. So all three legends have come through with donations tonight. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. I clicked on something on my screen and now I can't see anything, but I will make it work. What do I do this? Great. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about tomorrow's game first. Then we'll talk about All-Star, and then I'll go Mitchell, sponsor read, and then I'll turn it over to all of you. Yes, Ricky. Thank you. I think, oh no, this is way earlier. Yes. Thank you for that. So the Canucks have won 5 straight games. They, after losing the first game of this road trip, 2-1 in St. Louis, which wasn't a brutal game, but how would I know? I was at Kayla's 16th birthday party. Then they ripped through, won 3 out of 4 in northeastern states, New Jersey, Rangers, and Islanders, 6-4, 6-3, 5-2, 17 goals. Coincidentally, the lotto line was put together for that New Jersey game, and then they won that exciting one 4-3 in overtime over Pittsburgh, and then it was 1-0 over Buffalo. So their final game, the 7th game of the road trip, is this crazy early morning game against Columbus. But before I get to that, I want to recognize 2 more donations that have come through. First one is again from legendary Lucas Gates. According to the nationwide arena schedule, no issues with availability for Tuesday. So they could have moved the game to Tuesday. Yes. I just don't know what the weather is like in Columbus. And I'm not being sarcastic. I don't know if it's as bad as what's happening in Buffalo. So regardless, thank you, Lucas, for that generous donation. Always appreciated. And then we got a big one here. We have AJ Canucks coming through with a $14 donation. AJ says, absolute legend. Never forget about the SBG. Been a while. Hope everything's good. AJ, so happy to see you. So the SBG is the Siakam Bodyguards. I met AJ and his crew at a game a few years ago, and these guys were massive. They're massive. But in a good way, like muscular massive. Not, yeah, they're massive. So I took a picture with them, and literally, I think I came up to their chest, all 4 of them. And they told me they're high school students from Siakam. I said, no way. So I said, thank you for making me feel old. That means I'm 30 years older than you. And I called them the Siakam Bodyguards, the SBG. So welcome. Let's give some love to Lucas and AJ for their generosity tonight. You guys must be in a good mood because you guys are being very generous. You guys are always generous, but you're being very generous tonight. I think the Canucks should win more often. This is awesome. Oh, Ricky went to Siakam. Well, so you are the OG SBG then. You're not as big as these guys though. And I see Kaya. I haven't seen her in a while. Kaya with the Y, not with the J. Love everyone that is here. Thank you. So tomorrow, what can we expect from this Columbus game? Well, I don't know. Columbus isn't that good. I'm just pulling it up right now. Oh, I went way too far when I'm trying to, here it is. So I'm just looking at the preview here. Actually, I can pull it up on the screen so you guys can look at it with me. Let's look at this Columbus team. Okay. So in the last 5 games, their highest scoring player has 3 points. Kirill Marchenko. I don't even know who that is. Is that a real guy? Whereas PD, of course, has 12 points. Our power play is 8. We're 12th in the league. Oh, it's dropped that much. And they're 25th in the league. Our penalty kill is 20th in the league. Their penalty kill is actually better than ours. Face-offs, whatever, 49. We're both in the bottom half of the league. We are first in goals for. They are 22nd in goals for. We are 4th in goals against. They are 31st. They are the second worst team in goals against. So we got to pump these guys for some goals tomorrow for sure. We are 7-2-1 in our last 10 games. It's weird. It goes backwards. So it goes this way. So there's the loss in St. Louis and then our 5 most recent wins. They are 2-4-4. They have not won since 4 games ago against Philly. Goalie comparison. This is if I don't know. I actually think. This is going by the leaders, not necessarily who's playing. My guess with a weird travel in the early start time, my guess is we're going to see Casey DeSmith in net. And finally, their highest scoring players. Their highest scoring player is 26 points. Johnny Gaudreau, then Adam Fantilli, the rookie, and then Kirill Marchenko, who I just heard about today. So, you guys, famous last words, right? On paper, we should hammer this team. On paper, we should hammer this team and come back having won their last 6 games, 6 out of 7 on the road trip. Does it feel like a trap game? And when we say trap game, it means you get trapped into thinking that you're going to win, trapped into not playing well, basically looking past this game. I don't see why the Canucks still, I'm sure they want to get home. And that's the other factor too. They're at the end of a 2-week, 7-game road trip. I'm sure they want to get home, but there's just something different about this team. Now, maybe I'll be proven wrong. And I sure hope they don't lay an egg. Both teams got to start early. It's not just Vancouver, but that team is simply very, very businesslike. And as well as they're doing, they don't think that they've won anything yet. And that's what I like about this team is they seem very hungry and they're not taking anything for granted. So there's a couple things to think about that way for sure. Now let's talk about the All-Star game, and then I'll get to I don't believe in jinxes. So I've already vlogged extensively about Quinn Hughes being named by the league as the first Vancouver representative. Remember, every team gets a guy. And then yesterday we found out that 4 more Canucks, Thatcher Demko, who led all vote getters, Pedersen, Besser, and Miller, joining Quinn Hughes, which is awesome. We know that Finn is going, the mascot, and Rick Tocchet, by virtue, even though they're not doing the 4 divisions as the teams, they still took the 4 teams, the highest points percentage in each division, and that head coach is going. So Rick Tocchet, by virtue of the Canucks being ahead of the Golden Knights, Kings, and Oilers in points percentage, Rick Tocchet is going as one of the 4 coaches as well. He doesn't know what squad he's going to get because they haven't picked the teams yet. They'll do that on the weekend. And we have a lot of time to break down the All-Star game and the All-Star festivities before we get to that weekend. But needless to say, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And actually, I'm gonna put a different poll question up because I would love your feedback for the last 2 minutes of this first half of the show about the All-Star game. So let me get to it in a second. Let me just close off the current poll. And I basically said, what's the biggest storyline right now? 108 votes, which is good. 43% of you said it's the 5 players and Rick Tocchet going to the All-Star game. 30% of you said contending for first overall in the league, which is pretty cool. 14% of you saying it's the lotto line dominating, and then only 11% of you said it's the way that the Canucks are widening their lead in the Pacific Division, which I'll get to in a second. Okay, so 43% of you are riding this all-star hype. So I got one more poll question for you to answer while I go over the standings, and then we will get to your questions and comments for the second half of the show. So let me just get this next poll question ready. And basically, it's this. When it comes to the All-Star game, I guess the question is, do you want our players there? So my question to you is, for the All-Star game, it's not too crazy. I don't worry I don't worry about jinxes. So I'm going to say you usually don't worry about injury. There's no hitting in the All-Star game. It's nice for the players to get the experience. It's nice for the Canucks to be recognized for their awesome performances. Yes, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate our success. Or no, would rather them, because this is what I've heard a lot as well. So I'm going to give you two options. I said, for the All-Star game, do you want our players there? And it's either yes, let's celebrate our success. And along with let's celebrate our success, it's let's show the league that we have 5 of the 44 spots there. We have 11% of the All-Star rosters there. Or, and I have a lot of time for this argument too, that's a week of traveling across the country, of doing media, of hanging out, and that is time where you could use to rest and recoup. And of course, you need at least one player there, so it's not like they can hold all. And I didn't want to put only send 2 or 3 players instead of 5, because that doesn't make any sense. So really, the question to you is, how do you feel about our players being there? Celebrate our success. That's awesome. Or I would actually wish that they didn't go and they use that time to rest. And what Wallach said is pretty much what I was thinking. As much as them resting would be great, as a selfish fan, I want to see them there. Wallach, I think that is completely fair comment. Once again, hello to everyone watching on Instagram and Facebook. I see you there. I don't really read the comments there though, because this is primarily for YouTube, but you can go over to YouTube and find me at Canuck Clay. But I guess no harm, no foul, unless I find that I lost a bunch of followers on Instagram by doing this live stream on there as well. But they just don't have to watch it, right? We got another donation. I have no clue how much it is, but let's recognize it right now. Burned all the way from Germany says, a little thanks for your breakdown videos, Clay. Well, thank you, Bern. I appreciate that. I'm having a lot of fun doing them. You may have heard me joking around that when it's a 1-0 game, though, it's a little bit, I'm stretching a little bit, but thank you, Bern. I think I have no clue what currency. This is how ignorant. This is why I'm so bad at Wordle, you guys. What currency is used in Germany? Currency, Germany. It is the euro. Okay. So I'm presuming that 5 euros is like $7 or $8 Canadian. Regardless, I'm very grateful to you, Bern. Thank you for your generosity. I appreciate it. Oh, close to 10 now. Wow. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bern. 5 euros, $5, 5 Happy Meals, whatever you want to send me, I will gladly take it. Let's see what you guys said about this poll, about the All-Star game, about our players there. It looks like 77% of you said, yes, let's celebrate our success. And only 22% of you, remember, it never adds up to 100. 22% of you saying, no, you would rather them rest. I like what Justin said. Birthday boy Eve. We have been so bad for years. This is historic to see this kind of representation. The players have deserved the recognition. And although rest is nice, this kind of season isn't likely to repeat itself. All great comments. We are at the 30-minute mark because I've been so excited to go over things. You guys have been so generous. So let me do my mid-show sponsorship read now, and then I will turn it over to you for your questions and comments. Hey, Alphabet, nice to see you. Relax on the celebrating, though. Me or the team? Nice to see you. Let's do my mid-show sponsor read. Firstly, shout out to my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform Personal Training Weight Loss. Check them out at ptforum.com. Thank you to Gassy Jet Art, maker of that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. If you're looking for Canucks tickets, email me at canuckclay@gmail.com. Just sold another pair tonight. You know who you are. Oh, not just the poll. Alphabet, thank you. My shows this week. So tomorrow, usually Monday night is a games night, but I think we'll do a quick recap of the Canucks Columbus game, even though this will be like 12 hours after they finish playing. And then I'm going to bring Justin onto the stream it's a kind of unwritten perk for membership for Hall of Fame and Legends. I like to bring you on. Well, I'm starting now. I think I did it for Lucas. I want to bring Hall of Fame and Legends onto the stream on their birthdays or their stream that is closest to. So tomorrow night will not be games night. It will be a recap of the game, even though I've done Canucks After Dark with Parker at 10. Join me at 11:15. And if Justin is still awake, I will bring him on to the stream. Then on Tuesday, 11 o'clock, I might do games then. We'll see. But then that's the one I have to end early because of church night. Wednesday night at 11. And then Thursday night at 11. That will be after the Canucks Coyotes game. Finally, and I bring this up because I heard of new interest tonight from a good friend of mine. So Vegas, Vancouver, we're going to Vegas. Vegas, baby, March 31st to April 3rd. 4 days, 3 nights. The game is on Tuesday night, April the 2nd. The cost is $999 based on double occupancy. You get return airfare, airport transfers, 3 nights at the Park MGM Hotel, and the game ticket in the mezzanine level. So a good ticket. If you want to go, contact Neal Chark, Neal C at uniglobecarefree.ca. That's Neal C at uniglobecarefree.ca. He will ask for a $200 deposit with the rest due at the end of the month. And then make sure you mention Canuck Clay because he is tracking where all the sales are coming from. Awesome. A mid-show reminder to all of you to subscribe so you can get active in the chat section. Like the video. 130 of you in here. There's only 40 likes. So let's bump that up a little bit, but I'm so grateful that there's 130 of you in here right now. You can leave a donation like many people have done. Thank you. You can gift memberships like Carol has done. Thank you. You can also buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. If you're watching on Instagram, hello, friends. Primarily doing this through YouTube, but trying it, pumping it out to Instagram and Facebook tonight, just as an experiment. Okay. Because there are 130 of you in here, I simply, as much as I want to, I can't keep up with all of your comments. So what I'm going to do is, at least to start off, I'm going to read the questions that come from Facebook. I just said what I didn't want to say. That come from YouTube, but I will recognize a couple of things first. Firstly, this wonderful donation from Matt. Long time no see, Matt. You're awesome. So let's bad travel. I fear a schedule loss, but if they win, that would seal this Eastern road trip as a legendary one. Yes, 6 out of 7 wins if they win tomorrow. I'm not making excuses for them already. Even if they lose tomorrow, though, 5 out of 7, very successful. But yes, let's have them coming home on a good note. Thank you, Matt, for your generosity. Let's give some Matt hype in the stream, in the comments for sure. And then Adrian says, I heard if you sing, the tips go up. Be careful for what you wish for, Adrian. Once in a while, depending on how loopy I'm feeling or what's going on, I will break out a ditty or a dance. Do you guys remember? Okay. Before I get to your questions, and I brought this up once before. Do you remember how bad our team was, where it would only take 3 wins in a row, and then I would dance like a show monkey. Like I would just dance around. I would do the gritty. I would do the ditty. I would do the witty. I would do whatever. And I suck. I can't dance. You guys know that. So, and that was only for 3 wins. Can't imagine what it'd be like for 5 wins or 8 wins or atop the league. Good thing I didn't promise any of that. Oh, by the way, I never went over the standings. Just very quickly. Canucks are number 1 in points, number 2 in points percentage. So we're battling with Winnipeg and Boston atop the league, which is pretty cool in terms of points and points percentage. And in the division, we're opening up a big lead because Vegas is 3-7 in their past 10. LA is 2-4-4 in the past 10. However, Edmonton is 10-0 in their last 10, which is pretty crazy. So I'll just show you this and then I'll get to all your questions. Thank you for your patience. We see Vancouver with 61 points in 43 games. By the way, 61 points in 43 games, 61 minus 43, 18 games over 500. That's the easiest way to think about it. So they're 18 games over 500. Vegas is 53 and 43. So we have a true 8-point lead over Vegas now. LA has played 4 fewer games, but they are now 13 points behind us. So they were clear of them. But look at this. Edmonton has only 1 point behind LA now, and they played the same amount of games. So, friends, this is a good thing. If Vancouver can hold on and win the division, then I'm guessing that Edmonton is going to finish ahead of LA. LA might be the 4th place team, and then we're going to get either LA or the Central Division 4th place team as our first round matchup. As much as I love our Canucks, I do indeed want to avoid a first round matchup with Edmonton. Let's get to some of your questions now. And right now, I can only do questions. What do you think about this second line? Oh, this second line, Kuzi, Suter, Mikheyev. Do you think a 2C is needed? I do. So if they want to keep the Lotto line together, I do think we need a second line center. I think Suter is good, but as a third, fourth liner or a kind of temporary fix, he's proven he can't drive that line. It's not just his fault. They don't get any points, this team. That line hasn't got any points in the past 5 games. So I think you do got to find a second line center, or if you don't commit to the Lotto line full time, then you got to get another winger. But I do think a top 6 forward would be great. Would I be surprised to see the game pushed back tomorrow to 1 p.m. or 4 p.m. Pacific? Yes, I would be, because I haven't heard any indication that it would be. Hi, Clay. Which Canuck player out of the 5 players would like to see win the skills? Well, only Petey is in the skills right now. You can vote another player in. There's 2 fan voted spots. I think Hughes or Miller would be good. I think Hughes would be interesting because you have that narrative about going against his brother Jack. So I think Petey though has the most all around skill set, the best bag of skills for sure. Yeah, Daniel, I hope you get up tomorrow too. Clay, what do you know about this Sasha guy from the KHL that Canucks are interested? Nothing. Murray from New Zealand, I knew nothing until Rick Dollywall brought him up. So unfortunately, I can't say too much about him, only because I don't know anything about him. Yeah, you guys all talking about how you remember my dancing videos. Pink, I do miss the clouds with Marie though. You know, Marie and I, we're still really good friends. We meet for lunch every so often, and we message almost every couple of days. But yeah, I think we both feel the same way. We think that the parody song is kind of a thing of the past. But you know, I never broke the internet with mine. They're just kind of there, and just another way to do some content. So if the Canucks make the playoffs, maybe we do something simple, but we're not gonna plan on it just yet. We can plan on them making the playoffs. What I'm saying is we're not going to plan on making a song just yet. Are you okay sacrificing a Hoglander or Podkolzin for a player that could help the team in the playoffs? My first reaction is no, Ricky, but I understand you do have to give up quality to get quality. Of course, it's going to be depending on who the player is and what kind of impact. So without making all those kind of hedging and sitting on the fence. Yeah, I don't know. I guess of all those guys, Podkolzin would be the one I'd be willing to give up, but he's also going to get you the least. I don't want to give Lekaramaki or Verlander up just yet. So might it be Hoglander? Maybe. But if it means we win a Stanley Cup, then of course I'll say it's worth it. A sequel to Boudreaux, tell me. Yes. Something about Rick Tocchet, though, obviously. Brandon, how are you, brother? So my friend Brandon got married this past summer. Happy for an early game. It'll be at 6 p.m. in London. Nice to see you, Brandon. So awesome that you are here. Got to get a tattoo at 10 wins. Yeah, you know, maybe Gabriel later. Yeah, we're way past dancing. Now it's like permanent, doing something to your body or something like that. Something that you can't turn back from. Maybe I'll do that in a later stream later in the year is what sort of things should I do if the Canucks win the division or win first overall? What is your prediction for the morning game? Who will score first? I got the Brock Besser. No, whoever scored first, not against Buffalo. Whoever scored first against Pittsburgh. I remember I got it right. It doesn't matter. 4-2 Canucks. Let's go. JT Miller scores the first goal. Clay warming up his sports analysis debut on Donnie. I would love that. They haven't asked me yet. Trade rumors have Nucks shopping for Genso, Tarasenko, or Vetrano. Well, I don't know what Frank Vetrano's contract situation is like, but I do know that I don't want Tarasenko, and I'd be okay with Gensel because of the Pittsburgh Pittsburgh connection, and I think he'd be a good fit. So in order, I go Tarasenko, Gensel, then Vetrano, Gensel, and Tarasenko. Canucks' last game before the All-Star break is in Columbus. So it may be possible the players, coach, and mascot that are going will just stay behind. Their last game before the All-Star break. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, I never thought about that, Jay. Yes, that's right. On the 27th. Oh, and they go straight up to Toronto. Yeah, but I think, though, because the All-Star stuff doesn't happen until 6 days later, I'm pretty sure they'll want to come home first. Oh, wait a sec. Start again. It's a home game. The Canucks' last game before the All-Star break is actually a home game, Jay. Yeah, it's a home game because the Eastern teams, they go 1-1. So their away game is tomorrow. The last game before the All-Star break is actually a home game against Columbus. So let's get to your questions only, just so, of course. Do you even have to ask, Daniel? Clay, would you like to see the Canucks winning against Bruins, Rangers, and Leafs in order to get that dynasty team? Oh, you mean if those were our would you like to see the Canucks winning against Bruins, Rangers, and Leafs in order to get that dynasty team? What does that mean, Taylor? Like, who do I want them to beat, or do I want them to beat those three teams because it will be the most epic thing? Sorry, Taylor, I'm a little slow tonight. Ask me again. Could we see any players getting picked up for the Canucks during trade deadline? Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know who, but I do think that Alvin will be active. Have I noticed the lopsided calls in Buffalo? I did not notice. Marcus, back east, ready for school, I'm sure, 2:30 a.m. You were here, right? You were here for Christmas break. Look me up next time, Marcus. I'll take you out, and thank you for your support on this channel. It's not a question, but it's pretty funny. A lot of Lions going to finish with more points than the whole Sharks roster combined. That's mean. What trade do you think the Canucks should go for before the end of the deadline? I think they should trade for a top 6 forward. I don't know who. And I think they should get a defenseman, but it doesn't have to be a bona fide top 4 defenseman. I just want one more depth defenseman. You need 8 or 9 for the playoffs. I like the 7 we have. I include Gilson. Friedman can be a number 8. You have Christian Wolanin if you need him, but I would like one more bona fide NHL depth defenseman. Zal says lopsided penalty calls. I didn't think it was that bad. No dancing. Yeah, it is like the schoolyard pick. That's what it's going to be. 24-year-old right-handed center. Thank you, Ricky. Jarvis, if we get it to 10 in a row, you will see a dance. It's not going to be that good because remember, I'm still recovering from a ruptured Achilles tendon, but I think 10 wins does deserve a dance. What do you think about Besser for shooting accuracy like his rookie year? Do you think he'll win again? Gerald, he could, but I just have a feeling he's not going to be in the skills competition because they've named 10 guys. PD is one of them, and there's only 2 extra spots. And even on the Canucks, I see Miller and Hughes getting into the skills competition over Besser. 7 a.m. in New Zealand. Interesting. What do I think is off about the power play? I think they're trying too hard to set up certain plays. I loved it when it's not predictable. When it's not just Hughes at the top, Petey on the right, Mueller on the left, Kuzmenko on the bumper, and then Besser in front of the net, or vice versa. I love it when they got guys switching sides, when they got Besser sometimes over there, when you got Miller going through the middle of the seam, and then Petey or Hughes replacing him. There's so many. When there's movement, it's always better, and then it just keeps the defense on their toes. My guess is dismissed plays tomorrow for sure. If the Canucks win the division, do a 24-hour stream. AJ, I already did my 12-hour stream, though, this year. Do I feel that we should have scored more considering Buffalo isn't a really good team, or are we happy with their game? Kaya, in general, I was happy with their game. Buffalo wasn't giving up a lot. And as I said off the top of the stream, I was happy that they showed that they could win that type of game. Oh, beating those 3 teams in order. Oh, of course, because I'm so stupid. Obviously, we're not going to all beat them in the same year because they're all Eastern teams. So I hear what you're saying is taking out our 2 nemesis and then taking out Toronto. Yeah, we'd be a dynasty if we won 3 in a row for sure. Clay, what do you think about how the fact that power play is still getting not to a goal? Yeah. They got to be less. Well, it's two things. They got to be less predictable and they got to get more power plays. You notice that there'll be a lot of games where the Canucks only draw one power play or maybe sometimes zero. So somehow they got to draw more penalties. Who would have better skills in a shootout competition, Edler or Sammy Salo? I think Salo. I've never seen Edler do a deke to save his life. I think Salo could actually just blast the puck from 20 feet away and scare the goalie. So I'll go Salo. All good, Jay. All good. Oh, you got tickets to the Canucks Penguins game. Awesome. Awesome. So if it's a 7 p.m. game, then the doors open at 6 and the warm-up starts at 6:30. So if you line up, get in at 6, that's plenty of time to make your way down to the glass for the warm-up for sure. Hello, Ryan. Hope you got the tickets. Have you ever considered changing your intro song? No, I haven't, Jay, to be honest with you, because that was done by my friend Tubby. And that's the one, right, with the beat behind it, and then with Kirk McLean voiceover. I kind of like it. It's not too crazy. It's just kind of chill, just the way I am. Never too crazy, always chill. Why? You have a suggestion? Do you want me to change it? You let me know. Let me know. Give me your thoughts, your motivation behind asking that question. No, Ryan, you don't worry, man. Getting married, as much as I love you here, brother, is more important than listening or watching me. But it's awesome that you're going to be in town for that game on the 27th. And thank you for listening to the pod. So that's really good. Ryan, do you listen on the YouTube side? Like, do you just have the YouTube open, or do you actually listen on a true podcast catcher? Because I know my numbers aren't massive on the podcast side. They're much bigger here on the YouTube side. But if someone like you is listening and it helps you, then that's awesome. Brandon, the Las Vegas trip is more than happening. We have, I don't know how many numbers. I know myself, I've sold there's about 10 to 12 people going through my, not my name, that's the wrong way, but I'm aware of 10 to 12 people going. So, and that's just from me. So yes, it's happening. I've put in deposits for my family, and I know a lot of you have. Someone just asked about the trip today. So it is happening for sure. Brandon, you should go. Are you thinking about going? How long do you have to wait for Connor Bedard? Usually you don't become a UFA until after 7 years. After 7 years. Yeah, Jarvis, I talked about this a lot on my breakdown video. I don't think it has any effect on whether or not we're going to trade for him. I think it was a tad late. I can also see why they didn't penalize it. Like, it's late because he could have stopped, but at the same time, he is going to the net. It looks bad because Lafferty got cut. I think it should have been at least a 2-minute roughing penalty, but I'm not overly upset about it. Hey, Aaron. Are you excited to be back at Rogers Arena? Yeah, even if it's with the... Oh, you're so smart, Ricky. Did I tell you that the only game I'm going to is the Chicago game? Or did you just make a presumption? Yeah, I'm not going. So I'm emceeing a wedding, and I'm in the wedding party for a wedding on Saturday. So the 18th is the rehearsal. That's the Arizona game. So I can't go to that game. 20th is the actual wedding. So I'm missing the Leafs game. 22nd, I will be there against Chicago to see Chicago. 24th is my church night, Wednesday night. And then 27th, I have church. I have a church gathering. So yes, of the next 5 games, I'm only going to the Chicago game that does not have Connor Bedard in it. I see the Oilers finishing 3rd, Sarah. I think they're basically caught up to LA. So I see them finishing 3rd. Which other Canuck would you have wished to be? Well, I think the intuitive one would be Philip Hronik. No excuses, Clay. Name your preferred player who you think the Canucks should trade for. Who do you think would be the best fit? Okay, fine. No excuses. If I'm not worried about return, I think Jake Gensel would be awesome here. I really do. I think he's the type of scorer we would need in the playoffs. Who will be picked last at the All-Star game? Whoever is filling in for Bedard from Chicago. What do you think of the Oilers fans comparing our 5 All-Stars to John Scott selection? Oh, that's stupid. It's stupid. I think Oilers fans, no, not all. Those Oilers fans, they got to give their head a shake and not be so jealous that we are better than them and we beat them 3 times this season. Physical game? I don't know. Last game of the road trip, I'm not sure how physical it's going to be. No, Ryan, unfortunately, I'll not be at either of those two games, the 24th or the 27th, unfortunately. Do I think PD is going to win the hardest shot again? Potentially. What is one thing the Canucks need to do to beat the Blue Jackets tomorrow morning? Score more than one goal. Get more scoring. Was Toronto in the Western Conference in 94? That is correct. They were in the Western Conference. Edler did take shootouts, so I did not know that. No, you have to vote Hronik in for the skills competition overall, Aaron. Thank you, Derek. Oh, awesome, Wits. That's great. That's great. Would I change up the Canucks shootout list? Well, we've rarely seen it. I think you got to have PD and Miller in your first two shooters for sure. Besser's got a good shot, but I don't know if he's the best at shootouts and deeks, to be honest with you. So I'd go Miller and PD for sure, and then after that, I'd be fine with it. Mikheyev's not the best in breakaways, so Miller, PD, Kuzmenko, Besser, maybe in that order. Even if they don't score in power play, they still waste 2 minutes. You mean that's a good thing, right? Like if we're up and we have the puck for 2 minutes. Oh, you listen on Spotify. That's good to know. Cheap tickets. Buy from me. My tickets are much cheaper than, William, send me an email, canuckclay@gmail.com. Again, that's canuckclay@gmail.com. And I have cheaper than Ticketmaster and certainly cheaper than any resale. And I got a bunch of upper bowl games that are left. So, William, send me an email and I'll send you the list. Justin, you know that I'm going to make it to 12 and I'm going to greet you. I'm still not going to bring you on tonight, though, because I do want to wrap up right at 12. I'm just going to get to 12 just so I can greet you a happy birthday, and then I'm going to stop the stream. So I'll go for 8 more minutes just for you. Not that you care. Justin, you don't want to be sitting on a stream when you turn. Justin, I'm going to leave it to you. Put in the chat if you want to be sitting here on the stream at midnight, and then I'll wrap it up a minute later. But if you want your first thing for your birthday to be with 130 of us, I will go until 12. But if you're like, no, I'm going to bounce Clay like at 11:58, let me know that then. And then I won't go to 12. Eriksson Ek, I don't mind him. I like his game. More defensive than offensive, but he's tough to play. I don't know much about that rumor, but I'd be interested in that for sure. So Brandon, the flight's going to be Sunday afternoon or Sunday night, Easter Sunday, coming back Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday night. They haven't been confirmed yet. And it's only $9.99 Canadian, double occupancy, $9.99 Canadian. But email me, canuckclay@gmail.com, and I can send you a flyer, Brandon, or just go back to the 30-minute mark of the stream where I quickly talk about it, because there's a poster there I can email you to. But yes, $9.99 based on double. If you want to stay by yourself, it's only $12.49. So, but that doesn't include food, of course, which is going to be the biggest cost. Jed will be here in May. We should go bowling. Hopefully I'll be okay by then. Justin's funny. Okay, we'll just see where I end up. I think the way I'm going, I'll get off just after 12. Oh, all good, JS, all good. I want to honor Tubby too, who made the music for me. If the Canucks score 10 against Vegas, you have to do the gritty and all the other silly goofy dances in the channel. Would you like to do that? No, I would not like to do that. Yes, Colin, being a season ticket holder for 14 seasons now. Which wildcard team do you think we will play? Well, the way the standings are set up right now, like it's a battle, us or Winnipeg. It's going to be either or. But the two wildcard teams are Nashville and Edmonton. I could see Nashville hanging on. I could see us playing Nashville. I do think the Canucks win the Pacific. Noticed you at the Canucks Tampa game a while back. Meant to say hello, but didn't find a good time. Oh, Josh, just make a good time. Anytime to meet you is a good time. Think we should beat Columbus? Of course we should. Yeah, the Oilers fans, a lot of them are salty. Untapping, unfortunately, I have not been watching the farm team a lot. Made a comment about young guys coming out next year to replace some. They might not be able to resign. Well, I think Podkolzin is the first one that you think of. Atu Ratu, Arshdeep Bains, those three. Who, in your opinion, would the Canucks fare better against the playoffs? The Oilers or the Knights? I still think we'll be as good as Edmonton's playing, as well as they were playing. That was great grammar. I still think we have a better chance against Edmonton than we do against Vegas. We just don't match up against Vegas for some reason. Who do you think would surprise you the most and put out a good showing on both teams tomorrow? Who would stand out? I'd say I would love it if Suter, Mikheyev, or Kuzmenko have a good game tomorrow. Someone from our second line, and I don't know enough about Columbus, so I don't care. What are your thoughts of Rick Tocchet becoming the All-Star? I think it's great. It's well-deserved. And just look at what the difference he's made. And I know he's turning a lot of heads around the league. He'll win the Jack Adams, I think. First round matchups, rank them. Oh, yeah. Well, I think we have the easiest chance against Arizona, then Seattle, then Nashville, then LA, then Edmonton, then Vegas. Actually, the LA one, maybe that's too low, but because we haven't played them yet. Zegras, I don't know. I'm not sold on his game. Obviously very skilled, but does he have the consistency to be there? 4 minutes away from Justin's birthday. I'll go back to 30 minutes. Oh, yeah. No problem. What do you have planned? Adrian, haven't you heard that whatever happens in Vegas stays? I don't know. It's kind of funny. I'm going with my son, Sean. So we might, I'll just say, yeah, Sean and I are very similar. Kayla, who's only 16, and my mom, who's a lot older than 16. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll put it that way. No, William, the most I have is 4 in a row, unfortunately. Jed's down for bowling. Yeah, Ken, I'm not a good ice hockey player. I'm a good skater. I'm not great. I'm a decent skater. I play on a roller hockey team, but my hands are pretty bad. Like, I have a decent wrist shot, but I have a non-existent slap shot, and my snap shot is pretty sucky too. So I've never really played competitive ice hockey, only just stick and puck. But my skating on the ice is fine, but my hands completely stink. Would I take Toronto or New York in a Stanley Cup final? I think Vancouver, Toronto would be absolutely crazy. And I think we could beat them easier than we can beat the Rangers, but it would be nice to get revenge for 94. Why do I think the second line isn't clicking? I think Kuzmenko has no confidence right now. And I think Suter, there's simply no chemistry. It's not for lack of effort. We get Genso. We split up the Lotto line, and he plays on Miller's wing. That's what I think. PD for Hart, Hughes for Norris, Demko for Vezina, Tocchet. Yeah, I think PD for Hart might be the only one that might be tough because of the season that McKinnon and Kucherov are having. Okay, my clock says 11:58, so I'm basically going to stall for a minute and a half, greet Justin a happy birthday, and then wrap up the show. So everyone who is watching on Instagram, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't get to any of your comments. Instagram's so fickle. I think they come in for like 10 seconds and then they leave. But so next time, make sure you ask all the questions in YouTube. That would be awesome. But yeah, wow, I see a lot of people that joined on Instagram but aren't there anymore, which is fine. But it was a good experiment to try Instagram and to try Facebook. But I will. Oh, it's weird. If you're still here, Jason and Angelo, those of you, if anyone's watching on Facebook right now, type in a comment only on Facebook. I want to see if it feeds to YouTube. I actually think the Facebook comments are coming through to either YouTube or my StreamYard, but the Instagram ones I know definitely aren't. So if you're watching on Facebook, type a comment in Facebook right now, and then I want to see if it comes up. My watch still says 11:59. So everyone greeting Justin, that's fine. You're a little premature. Not immature, just premature. Justin, I'm waiting till the Apple machine tells me it's 12 o'clock. Okay, I figured it out. Okay, give me a sec, Facebook people. Let me greet Justin. It says 11:59. I want to greet Justin as soon as I see it say 12. What am I doing? You can't see that. It still says 11:59 on my phone and my watch. And then, 12 o'clock. Justin, happy birthday. Thank you for your friendship. You're a good guy. I'm going to bring you on my stream tomorrow. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Justin Incredible. Happy birthday to you. Okay. I wasn't going to sing because I don't want to lose any subscribers I still have. So really quickly, those of you that are typing on Facebook, I realized this is what happens. It goes into my StreamYard. So I can show it here, if this makes sense. Hey, Marcy, nice to see you. See, this is a perfect example. Marcy is someone who I've known for 20 years. I worked with her at PricewaterhouseCoopers. Marcy, I don't think would ever, maybe she would, watch me on YouTube, but the fact that it was on Facebook. Okay, so this is good to know. Facebook comments go from Facebook to my StreamYard, which then I can show on the stream as I'm doing right now. Instagram comments, and Instagram people are just in and out like crazy. They pop in and out as they want. Those don't go to my StreamYard, so I can't show them. And none of them go to YouTube directly, which makes sense. So moral of the story is, if you can't watch on YouTube for whatever reason, or maybe I should just post to Facebook, because at least those comments get to my StreamYard. Okay, I'm gonna have to rethink this. But most importantly, Justin, happy birthday. I will connect with you ahead of tomorrow night show. Everyone else, you guys are awesome. 140 people in here today, which is pretty cool. And I'm so grateful for all of your support. So let's wrap the show up right now. But I even have people, and I don't know if she's still on here. I have people sending me pictures of them brushing their teeth and watching my stream before they go to bed. Grateful for the trust in that person sending me that picture. I will not say who that was unless they want to out themselves on the stream, but know how much I appreciate you and your trust in sending me those types of pictures. Okay. On that note, the Canucks wrap up their 7-game road trip tomorrow, going for their 6th straight win against Columbus, and at a time that is so crazy. I can't remember. I think the last time I remember 10 a.m. I think it wasn't Game 8 against Boston at 10 a.m. back in the day. Regardless, somehow it just works out that I'm working from home tomorrow because I got to get the new furnace. So I will have it on at least in the background within earshot. I hope you guys are able to catch the game somehow, some way. Then tomorrow night, I got Canucks After Dark with Parker, and then my own show at 11:15, where I'll break down the game, and I will bring Hall of Fame member Justin Credible onto the show with me. And thank you for all your great comments. Brandon says, thank you, Clay. Love the goal analysis. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Got my new green screen that I can just pull up pretty quick and use it. Friends, I got to get going. So moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe space. Members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovelander, legendary Andrew Chang. All 3 of you were here and you donated. Thank you for your support. Hall of Fame franchise members, thanks for your support as well. And to everyone else for watching, for liking, subscribing. I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. I want to thank those that went out of their way to support me tonight. And that was Carol, who gifted 5 memberships, Andrew with a donation, Lucas with multiple donations, Matt with a donation, Burned with a donation in euros, and AJ Canucks with the big donation tonight from the Siakam bodyguard crew. I appreciate you. Also, on your way out, you can leave a donation, you can gift a membership, you can become a member, upgrade your membership, or and subscribe and like the video, of course, on your way out. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. And thank you to my sponsors, Advanced Experts Real Estate and Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. Justin, happy birthday, brother. It is now time for me to go. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. I will see you tomorrow night, 10 p.m. for Canucks After Dark, and 11:15 p.m. for my own show right here on YouTube, and I guess on Facebook, on Instagram as well. Did I say this already? Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. I think I said that already. Earlier today, Jacob asked me, Dad. No, I messed up the joke. Start again. I said to Jacob, this is so stupid. I said to Jacob, would you like to eat anything for dinner? I said to Jacob, would you like anything to eat for dinner? And Jacob looked at me and he said, well, what are my choices? And I looked at him back and I said, yes or no. That was the worst joke ever. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.